Yes, check it out, man. It's your boy Akon, and you're about to check out my conversation on the Dana Cortez show. Let's keep it locked, baby.
Want to welcome Akon to the Dana Cortez Show. Let's make some noise.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking your
So
time.
excited. You know what, I'm glad you started out with that because it's been over a decade that you put a single out and then you put Beautiful Day out and it just feels good. It sounds good when I hear it. I'm thinking about it and I get chills. Why this song right now?
Man, I just feel like this time and moment of our lives and this just with everything going on around the world, man, something positive needed to be said and to kind of remind people of how amazing the life that we're in is because we're often worried about what we want or what we should be having, and it's just so much drama and negativity that we're always focusing on, not realizing that we should be focused on what we already have, appreciate the moment, appreciate the life, and just know that every day is a beautiful day depending on what you decide to focus on. You know what I mean?
That's very interesting that you said that. I think oftentimes I've fought myself and changed my psyche. Really, I used to always think about what I need next and what I don't have, and I think it's because I come from a place of poverty, and I fear that. Right, I'm afraid of that, so I'm always like, "What's the next step?" Instead of really enjoying what's happening right now, I've done a lot more of that.
Speaking
now.
of the world and bringing better energy to it, how's your city in Senegal doing? What's going on with that? I've been very interested.
That's all work in progress. You know, it's a city, so it's going to take a few years just to the point where we can actually get to the meat and grit of the construction aspect of it. You know, there's a lot of master plans being created, recreated, so, feasibility studies, environmentality studies. Like it's so much that goes to building not just a basic high rise, but when you're talking about a city in itself. It's just a lot of legwork that's to be done before the project actually starts. I think with me, because I'm a marketer, promoter, artists, and we normally like to promote things before we actually get started.
People don't understand how hard it is to build a city, though.
I mean, yeah, I understand it's a process. Do you have any idea, like a timetable, though? Do you think you'll know when it's going to be?
Don't put that on him. They can't fix the potholes in the current cities.
Like,
You want this man to build a city overnight.
But he's right,
Come
though.
on.
Rome wasn't built in a day, nor did they have like a flyer saying, yo, pre-party bottles free before 11.
Like, what?
There's no way to promote that. Oh, that's so funny. Akon.
It's amazing, though, to watch the process, though. I swear, it's fun at the same time.
Of course, now for everybody familiar with the history of music the past 20 years, we know that you are responsible for Lady Gaga and T-Pain as well. I have a question in regards to that. Was there ever an artist looking back now that you think I should have signed him, but you passed up on, or her?
Him or her? Well, actually, the one that I felt like I kind of slept and on the wheel when I had the opportunity to grab him, but I was so focused on another artist at the time was Justin Bieber.
Oh.
Yeah, he would have been probably the third one because I remember Scooter used to come see me every single day to be a part of this project. And at the time I had an artist named Kobe Odonis who actually
I remember him.
Yeah, he would have been the Justin Bieber at the time because he came out off the bat with a number one record with What You Got. But unfortunately his dad pretty much controlled his career. So we really couldn't make the decisions we really needed to make to get him to that superstardom aspect. But then right after Kobe kind of fell down, Justin got, endorsed by Usher, and it took a whole other turn,
It did, but I think that you've done very well with the whole Lady Gaga thing. You just put this and T-Pain. Why do you still make music? You don't have to. I mean, I still listen to that classic Gaga, and she comes out with Convict. It's like, why do you still do it?
It's really more for the fun and the passion for me. Before I got into the business of it and took it as a career, I was a songwriter, producer first before I became an artist. And I think the idea of just making music and creating it is it started as a hobby, and it's something that I would do for absolutely for free. So to actually get paid, travel the world, and have all these doors open up because of it, it's no way I can kind of let that go. Even though I kind of took a hiatus for a while, I was still doing it behind the scenes,
Well, we got the new single coming out. We got a new album coming out as well. So I know we're going to be looking forward to that. I'm going to take it back to 2005. You dropped a song with one of our very good friends, Baby Bash. Baby, I'm Back.
Man, I love Bash.
That song is so good. And I feel like you were working with Bash at that time. It was groundbreaking. He's a Mexican-American artist. You see now a lot of corrido artists, corrido tumbados. You see the Bad Bunnies of the world. Are you willing to do that? Is that something you're interested in, collaborating with a Chino Pacas or J.O.P. or one of these artists?
It's a fun fact, and I think a lot of people never really took, a great notice, but from the beginning of because I was raised by Puerto Ricans when I was in New Jersey, so I was around a lot of Dominicans.
Yeah.
When I got to Atlanta, I was around a lot of Mexicans there. So I was always surrounded by the Latino community because they were the ones that accepted me the most, being African, and also, was in a position where we all had the same, like conversations about immigration and everything else. You know what I'm
Yes.
Yeah.
saying? So we kind of locked in. And interestingly enough, from my first record, Locked Up, every single I've had since then, I had Latin versions of it and Latin remixes to it. So if you wasn't really into music or seeing the both sides, you never really would go check. But if you go back and check, if you go Google me and Latin music, you'll be surprised how many Latin records I produced, wrote, and featured. I even put out during the pandemic a Latin album where from top to bottom, I was speaking Spanish the whole album, and the album was called El Negrito.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
El Negrito. And for people that don't know, that means the young black man. Yeah, it's not a bad word. Hey, Con, we gotta explain to him.
So it's in so many words, El Negrito is like the dark one, right?
Yes.
So and I was always the darkest one in the whole camp. Like every time I'm around all my Latin boys, that was like my nickname to them. The El Negrito. Yeah.
You gotta be careful though. You gotta explain to people before we all like.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my God, we better
all I hear is the
cancel
Negro part. You know what I'm saying?
Akon said it. I did it.
So you just talked about the same conversations with Mexican Americans, Puerto Ricanos, all of that regarding immigration.
Right.
Why do you think there's such a bad rap when it comes to immigrants? What is going? And I don't want to get too political. I don't want to say this side, but why is it that people don't understand that, we're just hardworking people just trying to make a living? Where does that bad talk come from?
I think it just comes from bad upbringing, lack of education, and most of everything is just fear. Americans, they've been brought up on this system that they control the people through fear, right? And if you look at the accomplishments of what African Americans have done to build America, and now what Latin America has done to keep America sustainable, it's no way America would survive without non-Americans. 1,000%. I dare them to just take all of us and ship us back to our homes. America will collapse overnight. And they know this.
I agree with you 100%. And I just wanted to say real quick, we've been here, though. We don't get no ships on this side. But that's another conversation.
Oh, no, we came on boats.
No, Latinos have been here since the beginning.
Yeah.
I love what you said, the fear. That's what it is. People are afraid of what they don't know.
It's all fear. Yeah.
Fear and ignorance.
It booms. Because lack of education. And when you can keep people uneducated, because even when you look at, and I hate to go politics either, but some things just is basic common sense. When you look at the budgets that America has for America, education is almost at the bottom of its budget list. And they're actually, teachers should be getting paid a lot more. Systems should be injected with more money and finances. Like the reason why the Chinese are doing so well, because actually education is at the top of their budget list.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So education is so important, man. So if you
keep people poor and uneducated, it's easier to manipulate them.
1,000%. You can manipulate everybody, and and I realize that common sense ain't common.
I know that's right.
So I've been waiting to ask you this question, and I'm not going to pass up on it since like 2004 or 5.
Here we go.
Why did you decide to shoot the video for Ghetto in New Mexico?
Well, again, it goes like me. I'm an international guy, right? And I never wanted to be put in a box. But one thing I've realized through my music, I was getting support from so many different nationalities. And one of the places that I felt would probably be the most recognizable environment for what I was trying to say was in Native America. So, it was like we did. Man, we did videos literally in every ghetto globally, but in America specifically, we did New Jersey, which was Newark area where I was raised. And then we went into New Mexico at the Indian reservations and we shot over there too. But man, I promise you, I think that made the difference with that song and what it did here, because the support I got after that was just unbelievable.
The love that people have for you in New Mexico. We had part of my career was there.
I love New Mexico.
It's a beautiful place. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. You were so far ahead of that curve, too, because now they film a great majority of movies. Netflix, corporate is there. They do a lot of that because of the beauty of the land.
Amazing. Yeah, the beauty, man. The landscape is just unbelievable.
There's a lot of good synergy going right now, and Akon has a native New Mexican. Can I pitch that maybe in your new city, we get a New Mexican restaurant?
Why not?
Green
I would
chili.
love that,
Taste of
bro.
green chili.
There it
I
is,
would
dude. We
love
got hatch
that.
green chili and Akon.
You get some
I would
Navajo
love
tacos
that.
going.
Yeah,
Oh.
beautiful,
Hey,
beautiful.
the one thing I will tell you though, when it comes to food, there's gonna be cuisines from every parts of the world. So we definitely gonna have some taco trucks around there. I promise you.
You have taco trucks. You
I
definitely
can't
gonna
wait
have
to
people
visit.
moving over there. Yeah.
One thing I realized, the tacos taste different when you get it from the truck versus when you get it from the store.
Here we
There's a
go.
big
Oh.
difference, bro.
When it's
The
fresh
truck
off that little
tacos are
grill like that,
undefeated.
that's the best way. They're cutting
Man, it's
it.
undefeated.
Come
I
on now.
promise you, bro.
All right, hold on, Akon. What's your favorite taco? You got a favorite taco?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just love but I like soft shell tacos. Though. I'm more into soft shell tacos.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
all right.
You're-
Man, I like
that's
a
the
crispy
right way to
taco.
go.
I like a white people taco night every now and again. I'm not against it.
You're
You know
talking
what
my
I'm
talk,
saying?
Akon. I don't know a lot of things, but I do know Akon for president. That's great, dude.
Oh, that's what's
Appreciate
up.
you,
Let's
brother.
go.
All right, what can we expect from the album next year? I know you're working on that. I'm excited after hearing Beautiful Day. I'm thrilled that you're excited about the music. What do you think that album's going to bring energy-wise?
I think it's going to change the landscape of music, honestly, because I remember when I was growing up, music did something to me, right? It would every time I heard of my favorite song, it would always bring me back to a moment in time in my life, which I was even, it's memories, those memories that always brought that nostalgic back in it. And I think today music has been so microwave to the point where you don't enjoy it or experience the experience enough that experience lasts with you. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it only came because of the access of internet, where you had so many people having access that all wanted to be stars, but not all of them was qualified to be. And fairly enough, everyone should have that opportunity to become what they would need to become. But there's also a level of understanding what it is before becoming it, right? So all of us, we went through, artist development. We went through a whole process of history. We went through a whole process of, lessons that we had to take to become certain things, certain practices, certain rehearsals. I mean, like we went through a whole boot camp to become who we are. Whereas today, you can just wake up tomorrow, get on your computer, put out a record, and just put it on TuneCore. And now you're an artist as well, and then put your video on YouTube. So it got so saturated to the point where music lost substance. And I think this is going to it's going to go back to instrumentation, go back to melodies, and go back to things that actually stick with you when you go to sleep.
I hope if you find another artist, if you see somebody, you take that time to develop. We just had this conversation.
Oh, yeah. That's all we do. I don't put out artists unless they're developed. We put them through a whole development camp. We got new artists that's going to be dropping when I drop as well too. Because every time I come with a new album, I always come introducing new artists. So we got the Simeons, three sisters. And they're actually from the Simeon tribe, Indian reservation, raised out of L.A.
Wow.
Yo, when I'm telling you, they are amazing. Like when I tell you. Out of here, I can't wait to present them. Then we have Amira, who's a solo artist. She does like Afro pop, which is a mixture of Afrobeat with pop music. Like it's
Nice.
a whole nother vibe. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Then we have, of course, Georgia Rain, who's my R&B superstar. She's gonna try to take the R&B world by storm. And then, of course, a few other artists that we got coming as well too. Is with Sheesh, which hip hop artist, and Flachi, which is another hip hop artist out of Atlanta. So we got 5 monster artists that will be breaking 2025. So look forward to them.
I'm excited to be able to listen to an album again. You're so right with the substance and people just throwing singles out and kind of just saturating. It's great when you get an artist who understands, and that takes development. The story that you tell from beginning to end, the beauty in that, in listening to an entire album. I'm excited.
We're coming back with a body of work again.
All right, Akon, thank you so much for taking the time. We love you.
You got it, baby girl.
Thank you for a beautiful day, baby. Woo!
Beautiful day every day.